New York fans, Yankee fans, we need your full attention. Gerrit Cole on the way. JP Morosi, good Monday morning to you. Manning the inside corner. He got up to 96 miles per hour in that rehab assignment that started Friday. How many more rehab starts are we going to see? We're anxious as Yankee fans. What do you think?
We are, Lauren, and good morning. The answer is several, according to Aaron Boone. Now, several can be interpreted in any number of ways, but I'll give you a little insight here. I do believe that things are on track for Cole to be back in the Major League rotation before the end of May, maybe even the middle of May. He looks like he is, from my perception and a lot of others around the game, ahead of schedule here. When you're up to more than 4 innings, he was out there in the 5th, you do wonder how many more he would need to be able to be back and ready to go. So by all accounts, things are going exceptionally well. A high volume of fastballs early. He threw a very high percentage of strikes overall. There you see it, 4 1/3, 3 hits, 3 runs. But again, the hits and runs matter less than the velocity and the strike percentage. So the overarching big picture point for the Yankees and their fans is this, that both Cole and Rodon could be back before the end of May, and that the team, to this point, as D-Ro talked about with that amazing breakdown in the A block about just how great the Yankees are doing from Ben Rice and beyond. This team is in a good spot, about to get stronger. Anthony Volpe also on his return as well with his minor league rehab starts for him too. So a lot of good signs right now for the New York Yankees.
And I feel like Boone was vague in his presser about the timeline with Gerrit Cole, just to give them the flexibility they might need. Okay, I heard it's a strained left oblique for Jhoan Duran, and then we see conflicting reports that he's maybe out for a month or that they're just being cautious. Is it in the middle? What do we know out of Philadelphia?
Lauren, I'd be surprised if Duran is out for a month based on what the Phillies have said so far, at least publicly, on the severity or lack thereof of this oblique strain. The idea is that he should be able to get back relatively soon. Again, it might be 2 to 3 weeks, somewhere in that range, but this does not appear to be a long-term situation. The one note of caution I will have is this, that now the Phillies have 3 relievers on the IL, joining Jonathan Bolin and Zach Pop. Here are their options to potentially close games. I would say Keller probably gets the first opportunity. Of course, D-Ro knows Keller well from Team USA. Keller 3 saves last year with the Chicago Cubs, so he's comfortable with that role. One more name I would mention to this board, Tim Mayza has been excellent for the Phillies this season. So I think having Mayza potentially, if it's a lefty-heavy lineup, maybe we see him late on. But this, to me, whether it ends up being 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe even closer to a month, but again, I think it might be more in that 2 to 3 week range, that the Phillies have to find a way to navigate this without not just Duran, but with Bolin and Pop on the IL, because they have to find a way to stabilize things in what's been a very competitive National League East.
And Duran's been a bit of consistency amid the uncertainty to start the year for Philadelphia. Excellent point. From injuries to a return. When Lourdes Gurriel Jr. was out with injury, there was never a timetable for his return. It was just as soon as possible. And he came back over the weekend, standing ovation like he never missed. How did he fit right back in like a glove, JP?
Well, the first and most important thing, Lauren, is that he did a great job with his rehab over the course of the offseason. And this was something Torey Lovello talked about, Steve Gilbert's story at MLB.com, about how Lourdes said last year when he had the ACL initial injury with his knee, hey, I'm going to be back before you think I'm going to be back. And I'm not going to miss months of the season. I'll be back in the first month. Well, here he was, there at the very beginning almost of this 2026 season, and at a really important time. The Diamondbacks, their left fielders have combined, Lauren, for a batting average under 200. And we know that Gurriel, with that great throwing arm, he has a weapon out there too. There you see some of the outfield options. Notably, Carroll left the game yesterday. A little bit of lopsided game early against the Blue Jays. He left early with a back issue that is not expected to be severe. Of course, it's Ben Tawa and Morosi to play left field. And then you think about what an outstanding center fielder defensively Alek Thomas is. So for me, the Diamondbacks overall, a pretty good start. They win the series against the Jays, and now they get Gurriel back. A lot to like right now in the desert.
A lot to like. A lot to like about your look, by the way. The glasses, you look very smart. I like the crisp shirt. It's 10 out of 10 on a Monday, JP.